Okay. Okay, good morning, everyone. How are you?
Good morning.
Great.
All good? Great to see your happy, smiling faces. Okay. Ready?
Yes.
Ready.
Let's begin then. Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay, can you see that okay?
Sure.
Yes.
Fantastic. All right then. So, just very briefly, the session rules, okay? Let's keep our cameras on at all times, okay? Let's be courteous and polite with each other, and most importantly, let's have fun, okay?
Okay.
Super. Okay, so the goals for today. Pau, could you help us with the goals?
Yes, of course. The importance of active listening in communication. Essential principles of active listening.
Okay, good. So we're going to be talking about active listening. What does this term mean to you? What exactly is active listening?
To pay attention to what the other person or people are telling you. Not only hearing, but actually paying attention to it.
Okay, so not just hearing the other person, but paying attention. Okay, anything else?
It's what I imagine it's like when you're gossiping. You do active listening. You listen actively because you're really interested in what the other person is telling you. So I would say active listening equals gossip.
Okay, active listening equals gossip. All right. Interesting. Okay. All right, so let's see then exactly what active listening is. We're going to look at a little bit of a definition of active listening first, and then we're going to be looking at some of the key principles, and then we're going to practice a little with it as well. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start off with a few little brainstorming questions. Okay. Um, um, Daphne, could you read the first question here for me?
Yeah. Do you consider yourself a good listener? Why or why not?
Okay. Well, do you consider yourself a good listener?
Yeah, I think that I am a very good listener. I think that I listen more than I speak. And I always show interest in the other person who's talking to me. And I usually, like, to show interest, I keep asking questions so I can get more information.
All right. Okay. Very good. Okay. Okay, Daphne, could you ask the next question
Sure.
let's say to Pau?
Okay, Pau, do you
Right.
always pay attention to what people tell you?
Yes, always. I think we should be empathetic to all of people and pay attention of what they are telling us. It could be important.
Pay attention of what they are telling us, or pay attention to what they are telling us?
To what they are telling you.
Perfect. Good. All right. Okay, Paul. Next question to Carla.
Of course. Carla, do you communicate your interest in what people say to you?
Yes, because I think that it's important that if you want to the people listen to you, you have to listen people. So it's important that people feels great, maybe. So yes,
Okay, it's important that people feels great.
feel, feel
Good. Remember, people in English is plural. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, and Carla, the last question to Jime.
Jime, how do you feel when the person you are talking to doesn't seem to be listening to you? What do you do in this type of situation?
Um, this usually happens when the other person is like using their cell phone, or I don't know, in my office, like doing their actual job instead of paying attention to me. But I don't really get mad because I do that same thing in some occasions. But what I tell them is, okay, I think or I feel like you are doing something else, you are busy. Let's talk about it some other time or later or whatever.
All right. Okay, good. Does anybody else have any other tactic that they use if they're they're talking to someone and the other person doesn't seem to be paying attention? What do you do? Do you have any tactics that you use in this situation?
It depends on the person because, for example, in my case, I have a daughter. She's 4, so you can imagine how much attention she pays. Okay, so if she's not paying attention to what I'm saying, I usually like kneel in front of her, not because she's like Her Majesty or something. It just kneel just to be like at the same height as my daughter is, and I tell them like, Miranda, 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 pay attention, listen to me, yeah, and like I repeat that, and I hope not to lose my patience with that. But yeah, that is another situation that I can imagine that it depends on the type of a person you're talking to. Say like, for example, the age, I don't know if it's a coworker, a family member, if it's a student or a classmate. It depends. It depends on the person.
Okay.
And in the place, because
Also.
sometimes when you're going out with a friend and she or he is in the table with his or her phone all the time and you're talking and you're like, so what is the point here? We were
Let's
going to
WhatsApp each
lunch.
other.
Yes.
All right. Okay, good. So let's see then what we're going to be talking about with active listening. Okay. So here's just a little bit of information for us. Jime, could you help us with the reading on this page?
Sure. Like critical thinking and problem solving, active listening is a soft skill that's held in high regard by leaders. However good you think your listening skills are, the only person who can tell you if you have understood correctly or not is the speaker. Therefore, as an extension of good listening skills, you need to develop the ability to reflect words and feelings in order to clarify that you have understood correctly.
Okay, so this is the essentials then of active listening. Okay, is being able to transmit to the other person that we have listened, that we have understood. So active listening isn't only about listening; it's also about communication. Okay.
Right.
So we're going to look at a few little tips now, some of the essential principles of active listening. There are 5 essential principles in total. We're going to see 3 of those 5 principles today. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so those 3 essential elements, principles that we're going to see today are what, Carla?
Okay. Today, we are going to look at 3 essential elements of active listening. Pay attention, show that you are listening, provide feedback.
Okay, good. So these are our 3 principles that we're going to see today, okay? So what I'd like you to do then is as a group, the 4 of you, okay, I want you to just brainstorm a quick list. I'm going to give you a few minutes to brainstorm a quick list of things that you could do or say when you're in a conversation with someone to demonstrate these principles of active listening, okay? How are we going to make it clear to the other person that we are paying attention? What do we need to do to make sure we are paying full attention, okay? How can we demonstrate or show to the other person that we are really listening to them, okay? And how can we provide feedback to that other person, okay?
Okay.
All right, so over to you. I'm going to give you about 3 or 4 minutes to discuss these, come up with a few ideas, okay?
Okay.
All right, off you go, guys.
Well, in my case, I am a saleswoman, and active listening is an essential part of the process of the selling. So if, for example, if a customer comes to me and asks me like about my product, sorry, or about my service, I have to pay attention to the questions the customer has, because if I ignore the questions and I just stick to the speech that I usually have ready, the person will feel like I am ignoring them and I don't care about their concerns, or I don't care about like listening to the person, right? So I show attention by probably repeating or making sure that I understood correctly what their needs are, and ask for more information so I can know how to sell to this person. And how do I provide feedback? Well, I usually tell them, okay, well, this product will help you because you tell me that you are always running out of time, that you cannot cook at home, and well, this product will help you because this saves you a lot of time and also money, and blah, 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 right? So that is how I work, and that's how I sell. That is like one example. So I don't know, for example, in your case, Jime, in what situations at work or with other people you apply these three elements?
At my job, I usually have several meetings a day. So, well, regarding different issues at the office, but I think that the one that I apply the most is asking back. Like, I don't know, they're telling me some problem about the digital platform, then I would say, okay, but what the problem is, or how does the customer feel, or something like that, like engaging with the other part and getting to know more about the problem or the issue, whatever, instead of just listening to what they have to tell me. And I think it's important to go back, like, to the beginnings of the conversation. Like, oh, about 3 minutes ago, you told me you were doing something.
Yeah.
What about if we continue with that and stuff? Like, they know that you were paying attention since the beginning and
That you
till
have.
the end of the conversation. Well, I know you work in a hospital, and I assume you have to do with a lot of patients and doctors. So how do you provide feedback to them, either the doctors or the patients?
Like you say, is a very important part of my work. Paying attention and the active listening. So what I do and what I intend to do every day, all the time, is to be empathetic. I think what I have learned is that when you are empathetic, it changes the whole conversation. So I have to be with a lot of patients that are sick. So they need someone to listen to that is not their family or their friends. So you have to, like you say, to have that feedback, but like very smooth feedback that you are paying attention. To be very nice and very careful about what words you are using to them, and that asking back about how they feel.
I think that you you have to make people feel comfortable because,
Exact.
like you said, they need to be listened.
And with sort of comfort in someone, because they are dealing with some bad stuff, so they need someone to get them to feel not that alone anymore.
Yes.
Okay then, guys. Okay, some great ideas, some very good input. Okay, just a couple of little things that I heard. Here's my feedback for you guys now. Okay, so I heard this first. Engaging with the other parts. The parts.
Parties?
Perfect. Yes. The other party, or if there's more than one, parties. Okay, so the other element, the other human element in the conversation is the other party. Not we party, but okay, good. And then I heard this: they need to be listened.
They need to be heard.
To be
Okay,
heard.
definitely we can say they need to be heard. We
Or
can use the word
feel.
listened as well,
To
but
feel.
we need to include to. Okay, we
Ah.
always listen to
Okay,
something. Okay,
To
so they
feel
need to be listened to, or they need to be heard. We can use either of those.
great.
Fantastic. All right, then. So we're going to have a look at each of these principles in a little more detail. Okay. There's a few more ideas about how we can demonstrate each one of these. Okay. So first one, pay attention. How do we pay attention? Powell, the first bullet point, please.
Of course, pay attention. Give the speaker your undivided attention and acknowledge to the message.
Okay, so
The message.
undivided attention, focusing on them, not doing anything else. Okay. And we need to acknowledge the message as well. What does it mean to acknowledge the message?
Like to receive it,
Understanding.
understanding, and
And make sure they know that we have received it. Okay. Okay, the next one, Daph.
recognize that nonverbal communication also speaks loudly.
Okay, be very aware of your body
Oh,
language.
yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
true.
because you can be like listening, but you're like, oh yeah, you imagine that. Yeah. So
Yes.
Exactly. Okay, so and not only our body language, but also the body language of the other person. Okay. All right. Okay. The next one, Hime.
Look at the speaker directly.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and
how
I
do you
heard
feel? What?
that if you look into the left eye of the other person, it's like more engaging.
Oh.
I don't know why. I
I
can't
was
remember
taught
why.
about the triangle of focus, which is this area here, across the eyebrows and down to just above the mouth. And if you focus in that area, but keep moving your focus, it's a very good way of making eye contact, but without being too intense about it.
Yes.
I always criticize like the eyeliner or or the eyebrows, like, oh my God. But well,
Oh my
I am
God, your
sitting
eyebrow
here.
looks like a Sharpie.
Or he's got a pimple on his nose. Okay. Yes, we're trying not to get distracted by any of those. In fact, look at our next point. Carla, if you could read the next point.
Put aside distracting thoughts.
Okay, so forget
That's
the pimple
tough.
on the nose, forget the eyebrows, focus on what they're saying. Okay, good. Paul, the next one?
Yes, of course. Don't mentally prepare a rebuttal.
A rebuttal. Okay, what is
Rebuttal.
a rebuttal? What do we mean by a rebuttal?
I don't know.
To answer back, like in aggressive way.
Okay. Very often when we're talking to someone, we're thinking about what we're going to say next, how we're going to how we're going to give them our counter argument. Okay, and we're already mentally preparing our counter argument according to what they're saying. What does this do? If we do that, what happens?
We're
We
not
stop
paying
listening.
attention.
Exactly. We're not paying attention. We're focusing on what we're going to say and not on what they're saying. Always let the other person finish. Okay. Next, Pau?
Yes, of course. Avoid being distracted by environmental factors.
Okay, so there's always a lot going on around us. You know, maybe there's external noise coming from outside, maybe
A bee.
yeah,
No?
exactly.
A bee.
Yeah, a spider crawling across the desk or something. Yeah. Ignore all that. Okay, good. Next one, Daph.
Listen to the speaker's body language.
Okay, so as we were saying, like our body language is important to monitor and regulate. We can also learn a lot from the body language of the other person. Okay, and the final one, Hime?
Refrain from side conversations when listening in a group setting.
Okay, how many of you have been in a meeting at work and have been there with a colleague going, be honest, how many of you have done it?
Yeah, I do
Daph,
most of the
be
time,
honest.
actually.
Never.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
All right, good. So yes, we need to try to not do this. Okay, always be focused on the person talking. Okay, that was pay attention. Next, show that you are listening. How do we show that we are listening? Okay, that's the first one.
Use your own body language and gestures to convey your attention.
Okay, Carla.
Not occasionally.
Okay, Pau.
Smile and use other facial expressions.
Okay, Ime.
Be aware of your posture. Make sure it is open and inviting.
Good. Okay, and that's the last one.
Encourage the speaker to continue by using small verbal comments like yes and mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
Mhm.
Okay, so all of these are going to really help to encourage the other person to continue communicating. All right. So what other body language or indications can we provide to show that we are listening to the other person? What are some of the common things that you do?
Like
Okay.
this.
Mm-hmm.
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 I use a lot of facial expressions, like
too.
when they're where they are telling me something, it's like no,
Really?
Surprise
or
face.
what? I don't understand.
Sympathetic
Or,
face.
yeah.
Okay, good, good. Anything else? Is there anything that we should avoid doing?
Cross your arms.
Yes, cross your arms. Don't do
Okay,
it.
yeah. If we,
Never.
like this, we're immediately closed off and we're
Yeah.
unreceptive to the message, right? Good. All right, okay. And so finally, provide feedback, okay? So this is an essential part when we're active listening, okay? If we're not providing any feedback, we're only listening, okay? The active part comes in the communication aspect. So what can we do? Okay, Carla, the first one.
Reflect what has been said by paraphrasing. What I am hearing is sounds like you are saying.
Okay, so we're gonna, what does it mean by, what does paraphrasing mean?
Like to repeat the other person's idea, but with your own words.
Exactly. Very good. Very good. So yeah, so we're gonna we're going to relay back what we understood. Okay, and we're going to check with them that that message is correct, that we understood correctly. Good. Okay, the second one, Pau.
Of course, ask questions to clarify certain points, like, what do you mean when you say? Is that what you mean?
Right, okay, so when we're not sure that we understood correctly, or we just want to double check that we did understand correctly, then we can ask extra questions to get more information from them. Okay, and the final one, Jimmy?
Summarize the speaker's comments periodically.
Okay, so what we could do is say, okay, so up to now, what I understand, the main points that you're trying to make here are blah, 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 and blah. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. So what are some other things that we can say to the other party in a conversation in order to paraphrase, to clarify and summarize? What are some of the common phrases that you use to check that you're following the conversation and understanding?
Maybe to ask them if they are open to receive any advice or opinions about what they are talking about.
All right. Okay. So sometimes when somebody's relaying a problem to us, we don't know if they just want to get something off their chest, or if they're looking for advice, or if they're looking for suggestions, etc. Okay. So maybe it's a good idea to clarify your role in the conversation. You know, are you just a shoulder to cry on, or are they looking for advice? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And another thing could be like sometimes we as listeners are not in our best mood, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And we can take something that they tell us in the wrong way, okay? So in that case, paraphrasing is really helpful because it clarifies what you understand, and maybe the other person is like, no, that is not what I said. What I said was blah, 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 blah. And since you are in a bad mood, or I don't know, you are, I don't know, not feeling well that day, or yeah, probably you had a problem, you're not open exactly, you can get the wrong idea. So that's why like this active listening could help also, and in your personal life as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's very, very easy to misinterpret a message, especially if we're feeling angry or frustrated about another thing. It's very, very easy to misinterpret messages. Yeah. Okay, great. Excellent technique. Yeah. Okay, any other ideas, comments?
I don't think so.
All right, then. So we're going to do a little activity now then, guys. Okay. This activity is in two parts. Okay. The first part is here. Okay. I would like, Pau, you're going to be student A in this scenario. Okay.
Okay.
So you are going to talk to student B about something that you are highly passionate about. Okay. It could be a hobby, a favorite actor, or anything that you are super, super passionate about. Okay. All right. Daph, you're going to be student B in this situation. Okay. You are going to be doing your best to completely ignore Pau. All right. Okay. So you have 2 minutes.
Okay, perfect.
Go.
Hi, Daph.
Hi.
Would you believe that Taylor Swift have dropped her new album yesterday? It is amazing.
What did you say?
That Taylor Swift dropped her album
Taylor
yesterday.
Swift. I don't like her.
Why do you like her? She's amazing.
She looks like a very bad person. But wait a second, because I received a message.
Okay, but do you like every once a while hear a song about her.
About what, sorry?
About her, for her career or some other artist.
Of Taylor Swift, I just know that one that says like shake, 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 but no, that is not my style.
Okay.
Oh,
so,
sorry, I'm receiving a phone call. Wait. Hi.
Okay, Daph.
Yes, here I'm talking to a stranger. I'm ignoring her. Yes. And the activity won't stop. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, Daph, I'm going to go now.
Let's finish
This is
there
not
before things get
working.
out of control.
We're not friends anymore.
All right. Okay. So, first question to you, Daph. How did you feel ignoring Pau in that exercise?
Well, I do it all the time.
I do it all the time. It comes naturally.
That's daily
No.
basis. So.
Well, for me, it's very hard because that is not part of my personality. So I don't know. I felt extremely rude.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I
You
felt.
acted it very well.
I'm a
Superstar.
great actress.
All right. Pao, how did you feel as the person being ignored?
Horrible. I hate being ignored. Like, I was like, oh my God, I have to go from here. I'm not like, just not into it anymore. We have nothing in common. So what's the point of this conversation?
What happened to your enthusiasm about the topic?
It got down.
Okay,
Like,
it just dropped through the floor,
dropped,
right? There's like,
yes, like in a second. It's like, okay.
All right, okay.
It's how you feel, I think so, the most. How the other person make you feel when they are ignore you. So.
All right, okay.
Ignoring you.
Thank you very much, Daphne and Pao, for the first part of the activity. So we're going to move on to the second part now, okay? And in this part, okay, we're going to have Carla, you're going to be student A, okay? You're going to talk to your partner about something that you are highly passionate about, okay? And Hime, you are going to be student B here, okay? You're going to listen to student A, like it's the most amazing, wonderful, interesting thing you've ever heard in your entire life, okay?
Okay.
All right, so again, we have 2 minutes. Off you go.
Have you listened the new song of Shakira?
No, I haven't. Tell me more about it.
Oh, and the video is I don't know. It's very good, the song, and you have to see and listen it because it represents her feels with her husband, ex-husband.
Piqué?
With her husband.
But it's Piqué, right?
He dedicates the song and it's very sad. I don't know. You feel like
how is the song? What's the name of the song? I'm gonna download it right now.
Monotony, I guess.
Oh, that sounds harsh.
Yes, and in the video she has a hole in her body and
no.
And the man in it's like him.
Really?
Yes.
So how did the song made you feel?
Oh, it's sad. And I hate him.
I'm going to look for the video right now because I didn't know there was a new song, but now that you're telling me about it, it's all I want to do for today.
And I think that everybody hates him now with that song.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, give me
Clase.
a second. I can find my spot. Okay, here it is. Monotony, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I got it. So, do you like any more of Shakira songs?
Yes, the oldest. Well, I think I like a lot of her songs, but the most the oldest songs.
And is there a difference
A,
among the first songs and this one last song?
a lot of difference.
Oh, she must be really sad then.
Yes, I think he's a bad guy.
All right, guys. Okay, thank you. So let's go with Hime first. How did you feel in that role?
I felt pretty comfortable.
Uh-huh.
This is what I do. I love listening and getting to know the other person. And if any advice is asked for, then
Mhm.
I am really happy to give some advice or my point of view or whatever they
All
need
right.
from me.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. And Carla, how did you feel?
Good, because she was interested in what I was saying, and she asked how I feel and if I like Shakira and what was the theme of the song. So
Mhm.
she was listening me.
Okay, okay, she was listening to me.
Me, to me.
All right, good, good. The it feels really good when the other person pays attention like that, right? Do you think it makes it easier to continue talking, to really
Yes.
express yourself clearer?
Yeah, because if the other person is not interested and not asking questions, then you reach the point that you have nothing else to say about it
Mm-hmm.
and the conversation is done.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay. So, what else does this activity teach us about active listening? What did you learn from these last few minutes, these two little short role plays?
I think the trust. When you are an active listening, the other person begin to trust to you
Mm-hmm.
about their feelings, about what they're like. So it could begin like a really good relationship. I don't know, a very good
Mm-hmm.
friend, like with your family or everything. It develop in something else.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
people come to you like to tell you their stories or like intimate stuff. Well, not very intimate, of course. Um, and maybe you have known each other like for a month or less. Well, that happens to me all the time. That they come to me and they tell me all their tragedies and they ask for some advice, and I'm like, okay, like it feels nice because maybe once I make them feel comfortable with me and my active listening, and I feel important to them.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, very good. Very good. So, yeah, basically, the entire idea of active listening uh is in order to make the other person feel heard, feel appreciated, feel valued. Uh-huh. Their opinion counts. You know, you want to hear what they have to say, you want to understand them. And this makes a huge difference to how open our communication is going to be. All right, so how do you think this applies to leadership?
Oof, a lot, since you have to deal, well, thinking as a leader, um, of a team, of yeah, let's say from a group, from your work, from your yeah, let's say work. It is very important to make this active listening so they don't feel like you are the boss, because being a leader and being the boss is very different. And if you show your leadership to them with active listening, they are going to give you more results and you are going to trust more in what they are saying, and they are going to trust you, right? So you probably avoid lies and you avoid excuses, and they can come clean easily. So this is something that I always do with my teamwork, and it helps me to understand them better. And at the same time, it helps them, or it helps the company and me to have them work in a better way because they feel appreciated.
Right. Okay. Very good. Definitely, I agree with that. Definitely. Okay. Any other comments on this?
I'm gonna speak from the other side.
Okay.
I think it's really important to have leaders that show their appreciation and their respect and their interest on you, and not only on the results you may get on the job. Like an actual interest on the person, on the coworkers,
Exactly.
is really important to get the job done finally. So to build a good team and have great results, you have to be an active listener, empathetic, as Pau said, and show actual interest and respect on the other person.
Mhm.
All right. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Okay then, guys. So that brings us up to the end of the session today. Okay. Just before we finish, okay, I just wanted to mention a couple of little details. Okay. Here we are. I heard, first of all, I heard this. It represents her feels with her ex-husband.
Feelings.
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 Feelings. Okay. Her feelings.
No worries.
About.
Okay. I think the best word here is toward. Yeah. Her feelings toward her ex-husband.
And it's not a husband. It was her boyfriend.
Oh, that's true. They never
They were
get
not
married.
Okay.
Leaders
Well, I
should
say I
show-
have
I know
a husband
nothing
and I
about
don't.
Shakira's personal life. Okay, and the other one here, leaders who show their interest on you.
to you.
Okay, so we've identified the right part of the sentence, but not to. We show interest.
In you.
Towards.
We can show interest in something normally, yeah? And we can show interest towards something as well, but I think it's more common to say show your interest in something or someone.
Okay.
All right then. So a fantastic job today, guys. Very well done. Some great little conversations. Thank you so much for your wonderful acting in the role plays. And the first role play, anyway. The second one was a lot more kind of genuine. It felt a lot more genuine and natural. Yeah.
Give me my Oscar, please.
I'll have it ready for you next class.
Okay.
All right then. So thank you so much for your time tonight, and we'll see you again very, very soon.
Okay,
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Yes, thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye. Take care.